He around? And no one's even up. Advertising for concessions at intermission, we have salted nuts.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You said that it was fine.
Just leave it. Leave it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the murder at Haversham Manor. May I kindly request that all cell phones and other electronic devices are switched off, and a reminder that photography of any kind is strictly prohibited. Also, if anyone happens to find a Duran Duran CD box set, that is a personal item and I would like that back. Please drop it off at my tech booth at the end of the show. Enjoy the performance. All right, get ready for lights up on Act 1. Note for the cast, Winston is still missing, and we need to find him before the guard dog scene.
Tracy!
Yeah, he needs to be back in his cage as soon as possible, and what is Annie still doing out on stage? Get her off so Chris can do his stupid speech. Oh.
Just leave it. Leave it.
I think it's gonna work.
Take it off. Just go. We don't have time for this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Conley Drama Society. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Chris Bean, the director. Oh, thank you. I would like to personally welcome you to what will be my directorial debut and my first show as head of the Drama Society. Now, firstly, I would like to apologize to those of you involved in our little box office mix-up. I do hope the 455 of you affected will enjoy our little murder mystery as much as you would have enjoyed Hamilton. Now, we are particularly excited to present this play because for the first time in the Society's history, we have managed to find a play that fits our scale of Society members perfectly. Now, if we're being honest, a lack of members has sometimes hampered past productions, such as last year's Goldilocks and the Bear. Or last Christmas's The Lion and the Wardrobe. Or indeed our summer musical, Cat. Now, of course, this will be the first time the Society has been able to stage a play of this scale, and we are thrilled. Why, it's no secret that we usually have to contend with a small budget, as was evident in our recent production of Roald Dahl's classic, James and the Peach. Now, of course, during that particular show, the peach went missing, and we were forced to present a hastily devised alternative entitled, James, where's your peach? But anyways, on to the main event, which I am confident will be our best show yet. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please put your... No, not yet. Not yet. Shh. No, don't. Could I please finish the speech so we can get on with this? Thank you. For Susie H.K. Bridewell's thrilling whodunit, The Murder at Havisham Manor. Now you clap. Now.
Charlie, are you ready? We're all waiting downstairs to raise a glass to your engagement. Charlie? Come along now, Charlie. You've been in there for hours now. If I didn't know better, I'd say you were having second thoughts about the wedding. Charlie? Hang it all, Charlie. If you won't come out, we'll come in. Dang it, he's locked the door. Hand me those keys, Perkins.
Here they are, Mr. Collymore.
Thank you, Perkins. Now let's get this door open. We're coming in, Charlie. We're coming in. There we are. We're in. But what's this? Charles unconscious.
Asleep, surely, Mr. Collymore.
Dang it, Perkins, I hope so.
I'll take his pulse.
Blast. I knew something must have been wrong. It's so unlike Charles to disappear like this.
Sir, he's dead.
He can't be. He's my oldest friend.
He's not breathing, sir, and there's no hint of a heartbeat.
Well, I'm dumbfounded. He was right as rain an hour ago.
I don't understand. He can't be dead. He was fit as a fiddle. It just doesn't make sense.
Of course it makes sense. He's been murdered. Good God, where's Florence?
She's in the dining room, sir. Shall I fetch her?
At once and quickly.
She's bound to have one of her hysterical episodes.
Dang it, gather everyone in here. Charles dead. What a horror.
Lounge to dining room. Cecil, Miss Collymore, come to Charles' private rooms at once. Charles Haversham has been murdered.
But do you think it was murder, Perkins? Or do you think perhaps that it was suicide?
Suicide? Mr. Haversham? Not possible. Never was there a man with more zest for life than Charles Haversham. He was young, rich, and soon to be married. Why on earth would he commit suicide?
But why on earth would anybody want to murder him? Charles was such a gentle fellow.
Generous, kind, a true philanthropist. He never had an enemy in his life.
Until today, it seems.
Shall I telephone the police, sir?
The police? They wouldn't make it out here for a day in this snowstorm. No, I'll telephone Inspector Carter. He lives on just the other side of the village. He should be here in next to no time. Hand me the phone, Perkins. Thank you. Good evening? Yes. Give me Inspector Carter. Dang it, I don't care about the weather. There's been a murder. Someone's murdered Charles Haversham. That's right. That's right. That's right.
A sound effect error on Q4.
Thank you. He's on his way.
Inspector Carter?
They say he's the best inspector in the district. He should solve this case, and quickly.
Very good, sir. And what shall I do?
Lock every door. Not a soul gets out of Haversham Manor until the killer is found.
At once, sir.
And assemble everyone in here.
Right away, sir.
Good God. Charles Haversham murdered at his own engagement party. Good God. Charles Haversham murdered at his own engagement party. What a grim, grim night. Florence.
Charlie, no! I can't believe what I'm seeing. My God, he looks so frail lying there. His skin is cold to the touch.
Don't touch him.
I must.
You mustn't.
You controlling brute, unhand me. Oh, who would do such a thing? And on the night of our engagement party, Cecil, quick, your brother's dead.
This way, Mr. Haversham.
I'm coming, Miss Collymore.
Get out, you idiots!
Not you, no.
My brother dead? It can't be.
Calm yourself, Cecil. Perkins, pour that man a stiff drink.
Right away, sir. Charles always kept his scotch upstairs in his study.
You know, my brother had the finest collection of scotch in all the county.
Don't you think I know that? He was my closest friend.
Well, he was my brother, Thomas.
Hang it. Charlie dead?
Oh, my fiancé dead. I can't bear it.
There, Florence. You aren't to leave my sight this evening.
Oh, my goodness. He's drunk the whole bottle, sir. There's not a drop left.
There's another in the cabinet.
Yes, sir. Of course you're right.
This is horrifying. Why on earth would someone have a motivation to murder Charles Haversham?
I can't imagine.
This is unthinkable. My brother was a good man. Who would kill him, Thomas? I'm in shock.
As am I, Cecil. As am I.
My brother murdered in his own home. This is madness.
This is all more than my nerves can take. I simply can't stand it, Thomas. I think I'm becoming hysterical.
Here, take another one of your pills.
Oh, Florence, this is unbearable. Thomas, I feel I shall pass out.
Perkins, pour that man a stiff drink.
Thank you, Perkins.
There, Florence. Well done. Deep breaths.
This is terrible. Just a week after our engagement.
Well, here's to a good brother. This is the best whiskey I've ever tasted.
Have another to calm your nerves.
Make it a double.
Oh, my Charles, my head is spinning.
Calm down, Florence.
Another scotch, sir?
Yes.
I can't believe he sat up here alone drinking when he was supposed to be downstairs with us.
My brother wasn't as happy as people were led to believe. Behind that cheery mask lay a darker side to the man that many didn't know about.
It's true. His smile was often merely a facade. I was fortunate enough to be one of the few people who he really confided in. I've lost a true friend today.
We all have, Perkins. Hang it, I knew Charlie ever since school.
Oh, I don't know how I'll ever recover from this.
You'll move back home with me. I'm your brother after all, and I'll have it no other way.
Perkins is right. My brother was hiding a deep sense of melancholy and resentment. I have no doubt in my mind that it was suicide.
Suicide, Mr. Haversham? How can you say that? Of course it's not. It's murder. Murder in the first degree.
Nonsense! Ooh. Yeah. Nonsense! Stop it. He was driven mad with paranoia and jealousy, and I can prove it. Perkins, hand me his journal. It's there on the mantelpiece. Ah! Thank you, Perkins. Why, look at the last entry. I fear Florence does not love me. The night of our engagement party in despair engulfs my soul.
Oh, but I love Charlie with all my heart.
Stop it. As I said, driven mad with paranoia and jealousy.
Oh no.
The inspector!
Thank heavens he is here.
What a terrible snowstorm. I'm Inspector Carter. Please take my case.
Yes, Inspector.
This must be Charles. I'm sorry. This must have given you all a damn shock.
It did. We're all still reeling.
Naturally. Are any of you the deceased's immediate family?
I'm Cecil Haversham, his brother.
I'm Florence Collymore, his fiancée. Tonight was our engagement party.
I'll take it everyone is assembled in here.
The only other member of the staff is Arthur, the gardener, but I saw him and Winston leaving hours ago.
Winston?
His guard dog.
I see. Perkins, have you poured everyone a scotch?
Yes, Inspector.
Yummy.
Well then, let's all raise a glass to a man we all loved. To Charles!
Charles!
Delicious!
Excellent.
Lovely. That's a fine bottle, Perkins. What's the vintage?
Flammable and corrosive, sir.
Forgive me, but the sooner I can begin my inquiries, the sooner we can get to the bottom of this ghastly business.
Yeah?
Perkins, would you take the body up to the study so I can examine it?
Yes, Inspector.
I'll lend you a hand, Perkins.
Then be sure all the doors are locked. I shall conduct my inquiries in here afterwards.
Inspector.
Any ideas as to the cause of death, Inspector?
Could be a number of things. Suffocation, strangulation, poison. Before fully examining the body, I wouldn't like to say.
Poison, Inspector, surely not.
Try not to think about it, Miss Collymore. As soon as I finish upstairs, then our interviews can proceed. And you can get some much-needed rest.
Thank you, Inspector. This is all more than I can bear.
I shall return presently, as soon as I finished examining the body.
Well, Well, thank God they've all gone.
Good Lord, Perkins, this body weighs a ton.
So, this is Charles' private study. Set the body down there, gentlemen.
It's such a tragedy for a man to die just 3 months before he's to be married.
I can't stand it. Just look at him, lying there.
This is most morose.
Morose indeed.
Cecil, we must tread carefully. It would be easy for the two of us to become implicated in Charles' death. If they find out about us, we'll be suspects.
We were having an affair. So what? It doesn't mean that we killed the man.
Of course not, but that's what the inspector will think.
It's fine. We'll just carry on as if everything were just as it were. Except now you won't be forced to marry my beastly brother.
And soon we'll be together and not keep secrets.
Soon, my love. But first, I must ask you one question.
It's so strange to think of Charles being dead. He was such an influence on all of our lives.
It's almost as if he's still here in the room with us.
His stillness unnerves me.
Seeing a cadaver for the first time can be unsettling. What?
What are you doing?
You're dead.
Check his pockets, Thomas.
Yes, Inspector.
Perkins, I'm going to need you to pull yourself together and help me dust the body for fingerprints.
Yes, Inspector.
A letter!
Thank you, Thomas. Now, to dust the body for fingerprints.
What was that?
Sir.
I could have sworn I just saw him breathing.
Breathing, sir.
Nonsense, Collymore. This man is dead.
Oh, Florence, will you do me the honor of becoming my wife? Marry me! Marry me, Florence. Charles is dead, and he's never coming between us again. Florence, Charles is gone, and he's never coming back.
Now that we have finished examining the body, would you please take it down to the service quarters for the coroner to collect in the morning?
Yes, Inspector.
Then be sure all the doors are locked.
Inspector.
And Collymore, if you'd be so kind as to fetch me a notebook and a pencil from downstairs.
Naturally. After you, Charles.
Oh, Cecil, I can't resist you. I shall marry you.
Oh, Florence, come into my
I
arms.
shall.
Kiss me.
Oh, Cecil.
The inspector requires a pencil. What on earth is going on?
I felt flustered. Cecil was cooling my brow.
Very well. Now that I have the pencil, now that I have the pencil, I'll be on my way.
Thank God he's gone.
Oh, Cecil, kiss me 1,000 times. I'm yours.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, Miss Collymore, Mr. Haversham. I've come to collect the keys to lock us all inside.
Thank you, Perkins. Just grab something.
I shall lock the doors at once.
You don't think Perkins suspects us, do you?
That old fool. Of course not.
Oh, enough words. Take me.
Inspector requires a notebook. What in God's name?
I was going to faint. Cecil caught me.
Very well. I haven't the time. Now that I have the notebook. Oh my gosh. Now that I have the notebook, I'll be on my way.
Damn these blasted interruptions.
Kiss me, Cecil. I can't wait a second longer. Kiss me, Cecil. I can't wait a second longer. Kiss me, Cecil. I can't wait a second longer.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Haversham, Miss Collymore. I've come to prepare the room.
Thank you, Perkins. Just set them there on the mantelpiece. Wow. That's some good work, Perkins. At last, we're alone.
Oh, Cecil, let's run away from here, far away, together.
Soon, my love. But we must be careful. We mustn't arouse suspicion.
Cecil, tell me, who do you think killed Charles?
I have no doubt in my mind he was killed by your brother, Thomas Collymore.
Charles dead and my brother a murderer? What a devil of a situation this is.
Not so fast, Inspector. Out! Oh.
But why would Thomas want Charles dead?
Isn't it obvious? He was always bitter and possessive when it came to you. He couldn't stand the idea of his best friend marrying his sister. He saw you two together at tonight's engagement party, and it drove him half mad. And he snapped and killed Charles.
But if it is Thomas, what if our affair is discovered?
Isn't it obvious? He would try and kill us, just like he did Charles.
Oh, I feel faint again.
Don't worry, Florence. Just follow my lead.
I'm sorry to have kept you. Oh! Get that out of here. Take this. But now that I have finished examining the body, our interviews can proceed. Perkins, bring in Charles' personal effects.
Where would you like them, Inspector?
Set them there, on the mantelpiece. Ooh.
As you wish, Inspector.
Don't go, Perkins. Mr. Havisham, Miss Collymore, if you would be so kind as to give us a moment's privacy.
Naturally.
Don't just stand there, Perkins. Have a seat.
May I?
Go ahead. How are you feeling, Perkins?
A little shaken, sir. But I'll be fine.
You and Charles, you were close?
Yes, sir, very close.
You don't appear to be very upset.
We require the candles to feed to the horses.
Doesn't make sense.
Inspector?
That doesn't even make sense. Get out.
On the contrary,
Of course they didn't notice.
I barely.
I improvised.
He was such a kindly, charming man.
It's true.
You met him?
Yes, once at a local police station. He was a consultant on a fraud case I was working on.
I see.
How long have you worked for Havisham Manor?
80 years.
80 years?
Oh, 8 years. 8 years.
And have you enjoyed your time here?
My time with Mr. Haversham has been nothing but a joy. I feel that since I've come here, I've been seen not only as a butler, but also as a friend and a confidant. If you need me, I'll be in my quarters. Exits. What? Exits.
Exits. Exits.
Oh, that's what I saw.
Perkins, if you'd be so kind as to send in Miss Florence Collymore on your way out.
No need. I'm already here. Don't ask too much of me, Inspector. I feel fragile as glass.
There you are, Collymore. Have you managed to find me a pencil?
Yes, Inspector.
And my notebook? Ah, I knew I'd left them somewhere. I'm going to have to interview your sister now.
Very well, Florence. I'll be in the library.
Don't fret, Miss Collymore. My questions will be brief and to the point.
Dennis!
And then you can get some much-needed rest. Firstly, how old are you, Miss Collymore?
21.
I'll make a note of that. And when were you engaged to be married?
In the new year.
And where did you first meet your fiancé?
Only 7 months ago, but my brother has known him since school. He introduced us at a local gala, and it was love at first sight. I knew from the very moment I saw him that he was the man I wished to marry.
Ah, I've run out of paper.
When you love someone, there's no such thing as rushing, Inspector.
Did you ever think you were rushing into this marriage?
Why wouldn't I love him?
Did you love him then?
How could anyone have benefited?
Can you think of anyone who might have benefited from your fiancé's death?
Cecil?
Not even Cecil?
I wasn't having an affair. Don't you raise your voice to me, Inspector.
You were having an affair!
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down, Miss Collymore.
But where did you find it?
I found this letter in your handwriting written to Cecil, declaring your love for him.
Charles read it?
But where did you find it? In Charles' pocket.
Charles read it, then it was suicide.
Indeed, or a murder conceived by Cecil Havisham and yourself so you could run away together.
You diabolical beast! How can you? I won't stand for this, Inspector. Accuse me again and you'll be... Woo!
Ding.
What's going on, Inspector?
I'm merely interviewing Miss Collymore, nothing more.
What's the matter, Florence? Calm down, Florence. Stop shouting.
She's having another one of her hysterical episodes. Snap out of it. You're hysterical.
Where are you going, Florence?
Come back here this instant. She's ran off. I'll fetch her back. I dare say the inspector has some questions for you. You were Charles' brother, after all.
I'm terribly sorry about her, Inspector. She's badly shaken. We all are. It's been quite the night and it's getting late.
Indeed. 11 o'clock already. Oh.
Well, do you have any questions for me, Inspector?
Yes, similar to those I've asked of Miss Collymore.
Fire away, Inspector. I'm at your service.
You and your brother, did you get along well?
Up and down. There was rather more strain put on our relationship when Father died, and it was no secret he cared more for Charlie than I.
This is your father in the portrait, is it not?
It is.
He's the spitting image of Charles, wasn't he?
He was ever since he was young, yes.
And you were the junior by 4 years.
Almost 4, and didn't I know it? Charles patronized and embarrassed me throughout our entire childhood. He always thought he knew best, and Father always took his side. If he didn't ever get his way, he was unbearable.
Sounds like far from the ideal, brother. It sounds almost as if you hated one another.
I won't lie, Inspector. Me and Charles never truly saw eye to eye. But if you're suggesting we had something to do with the murder, then you're dearly mistaken.
It's a dark night, Cecil.
Inspector?
You can barely make out the trees.
What are you saying, Inspector?
I'm saying that tonight would be the perfect night for you to murder your brother.
Inspector, please. Me and my brother had our differences, but deep down we cared for one another.
And that's why you are having an affair with his fiancée.
What would make you think that?
This letter I found from Miss Collymore to yourself.
So you know about that then?
I do, as it seems did Charles. As it seems did Charles.
Well, bravo, Inspector. You found out about Florence and I, but it proves nothing. We had nothing to do with the murder, but Thomas Collymore does, Inspector. Oh, Inspector, he's a dangerously unhinged man with a devil of a temper, and Florence is his sister. Now, I've said it once before, and I will say it once again. He couldn't stand the idea of giving his sister up to any man, let alone his old school chum. He saw those two together at tonight's engagement party, and he lost control and lashed out. A crime of passion, perhaps, but there it is!
Thank you. Thank you. Enough. Stop it. Thank you, Mr. Havisham. You've been most helpful. Stop it.
No. See? Haha.
Stop it. Don't. Stop. If you would send in Mr. Thomas Collymore on your way out.
Of course, Inspector. Anything to help the progress of your investigation.
Hang it all, Charles. Who could have killed you? Everyone under this damn roof seems guilty. Well, that's odd. There's something underneath of this cushion. A ledger. A ledger? I'm looking under the couch.
It's
A
under
ledger.
there. It's under there.
I'm looking. Stop yelling at me!
It's
Stop it!
Chris, it's under there.
Underwear.
Haha, you said underwear.
Shut up, Tracy. God.
Use your arms. To the right. To the right. This way. Good job.
A ledger. With CH inscribed on the cover. Let me see. Notes, bills. What's this? A newly written last will and testament. Dated only today. Let me see. Let me see. I, Charles Havisham, hereby amend my last will and testament, all of my possessions, and Havisham Manor to one. Good Lord!
Thomas Collymore for you, Inspector.
Thank you, Cecil, but before I interview Thomas, I have some papers I'd like to review in Charles' study. I shall return presently.
Do take your time, Inspector.
Indeed.
Tell me, Thomas, did you manage to find Florence?
She ran out into the grounds.
And what were your feelings about Charles and Florence's engagement?
I was overjoyed, of course. I loved Florence and I loved Charles. I couldn't have approved more of the match.
Oh, please, come.
What?
Oh, please, Collymore, it is well known you're overprotective of your sister. I'll get it. Good.
Hello? Yes? Get out, get out. Thomas Collymore speaking. My recent deposits, what of them? Discrepancies? Good Lord. Perkins, get in here.
Yes, sir.
Hand me my bank book, Perkins.
Whoa.
Your bank book, sir.
Thank you, Perkins.
Your pen, sir.
Thank you, Perkins. This is an absolute disgrace. Who am I speaking with? I'll report you to your superiors. Mr. Fitzroy, I'll write that name down. Okay. Mr. Fitzroy. Lord. Mr. Is that an S or a Z? Okay. I'll have you know this phone call has put me in a very difficult position. Now, I didn't authorize this transaction, but you find out you did, and you call me back.
What was that?
9,000 pounds stolen from my private savings.
Good Lord.
What a ghastly evening.
Thomas, I'm afraid I have a confession to make. Well, Florence and I, are having an affair.
What? You and my sister?
Oh, now calm down, Collymore.
You always were a snake in the grass, Cecil.
Thomas, it's not what you think. We're in love.
My sister does not love you. How dare you lay a finger on her? It's disgusting. No wonder your father hated you.
Don't speak about my father, Collymore.
Now the time has come for you to answer to me for your indiscretions. Draw your sword. Oh. On guard!
Whoa.
Nice try, but no match for my skill. You know, sometimes I forget you're Charlie's brother. You're so pathetic.
You know, I always were too quick for you, but not bad, Collymore.
You good?
Oh yeah. Shing, shing, shing.
Rattle, clang.
Slice.
Ah, 'tis nothing.
How about thee, Collymore? Shing, shing, shing. Swipe, swipe. Oh, you have a good parry, Collymore.
Good parry. I'll show you a good parry. What?
Shing, 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 shing.
Slice.
Disarm.
Thrust.
Blood. Blood. Oh. Oh. Stop it.
Stay down. Get back.
Oh.
I don't need this to kill a man like you, Cecil. It seems there's no mystery as to who killed Charles anymore. It was his own. Stop it. Stop it. It was his own vile little brother in a fit of jealous rage. You'll be sorry you ever laid a finger on my sister. You'll be sorry.
Gunshots in the library.
What's going on down there?
I don't know, Inspector. I heard gunshots. Please come down here.
I'm on my way.
Inspector, where's Inspector Carter?
He's coming down now in the elevator, Mr. Collymore.
Inspector Carter, I don't know how you managed to look so cool and collected in situations such as this.
It comes from years of experience.
Indeed.
We all must stay calm and collected, and in each other's eye. Where's Miss Collymore?
She ran out into the grounds. Florence, get in here. Florence, you don't look quite yourself this evening.
Thomas, I'm frightened.
Don't worry, you're safe in here with me.
What's happening, sir?
Isn't it obvious? Cecil has lost control.
Oh no, not, Cecil.
He killed Charles, driven mad by his lust for you, and now he knows we've found him out.
I cannot spare it. Cecil would not do such a thing.
Well, this is a fine mess. The worst night I've seen in 88 years of service.
Oh, save me, brother.
Yellow coat.
Oh, save me, brother.
Don't worry, Florence. I shan't let anyone hurt a hair on your head.
I'm panicking. I cannot believe that Cecil,
Cecil!
Cecil, is doing this.
Try to relax, Miss Collymore.
I shall faint.
You shan't faint.
Oh.
Confound it! What a devil of a situation this is.
Not
Now
so
we're-
fast, Inspector.
Get out!
No.
Oh, for God's sake! My God.
You're in Act 2.
Now, we're all going to survive tonight, you hear me?
Take cover! Get down. Stop.
Great Scott!
Good heavens!
I, me!
Cecil is crossing the landing. Quickly, we must lock him out.
Where are the keys to the door, Perkins?
Here they are, sir. I don't know. Oh. Here they are, sir.
Thank you.
Quickly, hand them to me. I must lock the door before Cecil bursts through. Oh,
No! No!
Good Lord!
Cecil's dead?
A double murder?
Tracy! Tracy! Cut the...
Found the Duran Duran.
Time of death, 5 o'clock.
Cecil! No, no, no! I loved him! I loved him! I knew it was wrong. I knew I was engaged to Charles. That was... And
Stay on
Keep
script.
going.
Stay on script.
But Cecil was mine. And... Oh. And I was his.
There, Miss Collymore.
How shall I go on? Sobs.
You take this body outside.
Yes, Inspector.
I'll lend you a hand, Perkins.
I've seen an awful lot in 20 years as an inspector, but 2 murders in one night. Now, that certainly is unusual.
Oh, Inspector, my fiance and my lover killed on the same eve.
Roll. No. Get up. We can't lift you. Get up.
Remember your breathing, Miss Collymore. We wouldn't want you to have another one of your hysterical episodes.
Oh, Inspector, I am having an episode.
Have an episode.
I don't know what's
Have an episode. Have an episode! Yes! Oh, no, Miss Collymore!
Florence, control yourself, girl.
She's having another one of her hysterical episodes.
They're dead, they're gone, and they're never coming back.
I will not tolerate another tantrum, Florence.
Get away from me, Thomas. You don't understand my grief.
Here, take another one of your pills.
No, not more pills. They're mint!
Stop. But then who could have killed him?
That's a good question, Mr. Collymore.
And one we're going to have to answer quickly if we want to get out of this house alive.
Oh, Inspector, you've given me a chill.
Perkins, pour us all another scotch.
Of course, Inspector.
Is there anyone else on the grounds other than the 4 of us?
Not a soul.
The gardener left at 6. The only other member of the staff is Perkins. Oh, good God, I needed that.
Does anyone else have access to the grounds?
No one, Inspector.
I'm the only one with the master key, and as instructed, I locked and bolted the doors just as soon as you arrived.
Then who could have killed him?
That's a good question, Mr. Collymore.
And one we're going to need to answer quickly if we're going to get out of this house alive?
Oh, Inspector, you've given me a chill.
Perkins, pour us all another scotch.
Of course, Inspector.
Is there anyone else on the grounds other than the 4 of us?
Not a soul.
The gardener left at 6. The only other member of the staff is Perkins. Good God, I needed that.
Does anyone else have access to the grounds?
No one, Inspector.
I'm the only one with the master key, and as instructed, I locked and bolted the doors just as soon as you arrived.
Then who could have killed him?
That's a good question, Mr. Collymore.
And one we're going to need to answer quickly if we're going to get out of this house alive.
Oh, Inspector, you've given me a chill.
Perkins, pour us all another scotch.
Of course, Inspector.
Is there anyone else on the grounds other than the four of us?
Not a soul.
The gardener left at 6. The only other member of the staff is Perkins. Good God, I needed that.
Does anyone else have access to the grounds?
No one, Inspector.
I'm the only one with the master key, and as instructed, I locked and bolted the doors just as soon as you arrived.
Then who would have killed him?
That's a good question, Mr. Collymore.
And one we're going to need to answer quickly if we're going to get out of this house alive.
Oh, Inspector, you've given me a chill.
Perkins, pour us all another scotch.
Of course, Inspector.
Is there anyone else on the grounds other than the four of us?
Not a soul.
The gardener left at 6. The only other member of the staff is Perkins. Good God, I needed that.
Does anyone else have access to the grounds?
No one, Inspector.
I'm the only one with the master key, and as instructed, I locked and bolted the doors just as soon as you arrived.
And who could have killed him?
That's a good question, Mr. Collymore.
And one we're going to need to answer quickly if we're going to get out of this house alive.
Oh, Inspector, you've given me a chill.
Perkins, pour us all another scotch.
Of course, Inspector.
Is there anyone else on the grounds other than the four of us?
Not a soul.
Thanks. The only other member of the staff is Perkins. Good God, I needed that.
Would you do that?
Does anyone else have access to the grounds?
No one, Inspector.
I'm the only one with a master key, and as instructed, I locked and bolted the doors just as soon as you arrived.
Then who could have killed him?
No one! Yes, no one could have killed him except for the people who are in this room!
No. Good God, you're right. It's one of us.
This is a disaster. Blackout intermission. Oh.
my fault.
Yeah, why do you have paper on this thing?
I did not put that there.
What did you do? Attached?
What did you do?
You were messing with it earlier. We don't have time for this right now, Allison. Okay. Got it down. We got it. Okay. Stop. Stop.
me after the show for introduction.
On the off chance of that, have you guys been liking the show? You haven't noticed anything going wrong, have you? No? Okay, good, because I haven't either. Anyways, I'm so sorry about him. If you would like to file any assault charges against him, please let us know at the concession stand. Yes? You can talk to me personally. Don't worry. I hope you enjoy the second act. What? Ah.
Oh. Thank you, thank you. Too kind, you all are too kind, thank you. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you've enjoyed your break. As I am assured, I must say, I am surprised, delighted so many of you have decided to return for our second act. If we're being honest, the first act didn't go entirely as rehearsed. There were one or two minor snags which you may or may not have picked up on. But these are snags you expect to see in any production. And this certainly isn't the worst first act Cornley Drama Society has seen by some stretch. Why, just last year, due to casting error, we were forced to present Snow White and the Seven Tall, Broad Gentlemen. But anyways...
Yeah, no, things are still going quite badly, to be honest.
As I was saying, I just
Yeah,
need...
she's still knocked out, and we still can't find that dog.
Tracy! As I was saying, one word of health and safety advice before we begin again. Could I please ask anyone who consumed any of the salted nuts available during intermission to please seek medical help? Immediately. So, with that out of the way, without further ado, may I present to you the concluding act of The Murder at Havisham Manor.
No one could have killed him except...
Oh, what? Oh.
Dang it!
Come
Get
on!
out here! Come on, go. Clean it up.
Fix it. It's your job.
Go, go, go.
Faster, please.
Faster.
Faster, please.
Get off stage.
Go.
No one could have killed him except for the people who are in this room.
Good God, you're right. It's one of us.
This is a disaster.
And it's not over yet. 2 murders in one night at Havisham Manor. What a grisly evening.
Frightful, brother, frightful.
And look, Mr. Collymore, the snowstorm outside is building.
If we're not careful, we'll be snowed into this slaughterhouse. We must discover the guilty man.
You're right. The gunshots were heard coming from the library. I shall investigate there. All of you remain here.
This whole business is a
Enough!
disgrace. Now,
Quit the snow.
let us remind ourselves of what we know.
We know that Charles Haversham was found murdered here in his own private rooms on the night of his engagement party.
We know that his fiancée was involved in an affair with his younger brother. How could my sister behave in such a way?
Not now, Thomas. We
Thomas.
know that he too was murdered on the same eve in cold blood.
The only thing we don't know is who the murderer is.
Oh, the tension and the... Ah! Oh, the tension in this house. It's tense.
Florence, how do you feel now?
I'm good.
That's dreadful.
Dreadful, yes! I want to die.
That's the spirit, Florence.
Now, Miss Collymore, I must ask you an important question. Where were you when the murder was committed?
I don't know. On the floor with a mustache.
That makes perfect sense. So was I.
Oh, kiss me 1,000 times. I'm yours.
No. Of course, Florence. That's what brothers are for.
This is a disaster, and it's already midnight. That was most.
Okay. I'll stop. Go on.
That was most.
Tracy! Stop it!
Can't do anything fun around here.
That was most ominous.
Ominous indeed.
Study to lounge, Collymore. Are you there?
I don't know.
Yes, Inspector.
I must speak with you, Thomas.
At once.
There you are, Thomas.
Yes, Inspector.
I must speak with you.
Okay. We'll lift you. Yes, Carter.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Most comfortably, Inspector.
Okay. Before we speak, I must check that no one else is in earshot.
No one else is here, Inspector. Lord.
I have found the weapon that was used to kill Cecil Havisham.
But where was it?
In the library on the table. Muzzle warm and the barrel still smoking.
Someone killed Cecil with this?
Yes, less than 30 minutes ago.
But who?
I was hoping you would be able to tell me that. After all, we are friends, aren't we, Collymore?
I have no idea who killed Cecil. I was downstairs in the kitchens fetching my sister some refreshment when line.
I don't know what page we're on.
I don't know what page.
No!
What is?
Besides,
Why would I want to kill my oldest friend's younger brother?
We all know you're a jealous man, Collymore, ruthlessly protective over your sister.
Protective. I approve of whatever makes my sister happy.
Don't play the fool with me, Thomas. You shot Cecil Havisham in cold blood, and you know that wasn't the plan.
Who the devil could that be?
I don't know.
You're probably right. Quickly, Miss Collymore, we must hide you out of harm's way. Charles had a secret passageway built behind this bookcase. Stand back, I'll open it. Step inside, Miss Collymore. You'll be safe in there. You'll be safe in there, Miss Collymore. Arthur the gardener, what are you doing here?
I was gardening late in the grounds this evening with Winston when we got caught in the storm and couldn't make it to the gate.
Good heavens, Arthur, come inside. You won't believe what a nightmare this evening has been.
How do you mean? Whoa, Winston, down from the chase lounge.
Mr. Havisham was murdered tonight.
Mr. Havisham, surely you don't mean Charles Havisham. No, out.
And not only that, his brother Cecil was also killed tonight.
That would explain the strange goings-ons I've seen on the grounds this evening.
Strange goings-on?
A mysterious figure stood into the window in this very room, and I noticed the latch to the window was forced, and Winston found wait for it, this beneath it, a lace handkerchief with a deep red mark and a distinctive scent.
Cyanide.
Precisely, cyanide. Hey,
why do they give me the big words? I can't pronounce them.
They give you the big words because you are the best
But I
actor out
can't
here.
do it.
Hey, no, you're the best.
That's
Yes, you are. See,
But-
you're all in your head. You have to get over that. Hey, go out there and do good. Because you were, yeah. And you can tell by the shape of the mark that it was used to hold a bottle. And not only that, it's embroidered with the initials F.C.
Florence Collymore.
Indeed.
I must show you something, Thomas. No doubt you'll find it interesting.
Well, what is it, Inspector?
A newly written last will and testament, dated only today.
Who on earth Good Lord!
That's right!
He's leaving it all to Perkins.
Arthur the gardener, you're suggesting that Florence Collymore broke into Charles's private rooms this afternoon?
Florence has murdered her own fiancé.
Miss Collymore, get in here right now. You killed Charles Haversham, and we have the evidence to prove it.
How dare you, Perkins? Oh!
The time has come to confront Perkins and tell him we know what he's done. Get in the elevator, Collymore.
Yes, Inspector.
Then we'll have to take the stairs. Oh my. Oh. Perkins!
Inspector! Thank heavens. These two have been accusing me of the most dreadful things.
Hold your tongue. We all know what you've done. Whoa, Winston, down from the inspector.
Winston, the inspector is here to help us.
I'm terribly sorry about Winston, Inspector. I'll put him outside. Ah!
Arthur, I presume.
I'm the longest serving member of staff here at Haversham Manor.
He's been working for Mr. Haversham for 90 years.
9.
99 years.
Stop it. Okay.
99 years! What a dedicated man! But Arthur, I was informed you left Haversham Manor at 6 o'clock today.
What's that, young man?
Stop. It would appear you were lurking about the grounds on the night 2 men were murdered here.
Arthur became trapped in the storm and couldn't make it to the gates.
How implausible. I don't suppose you realize what you've walked in on this evening.
On the contrary, Inspector, it appears I've discovered a clue which will close your case.
A handkerchief.
Monogrammed.
Monogrammed.
And stained with cyanide.
Cyanide!
Dropped beneath the forced window used to gain access to the room, so someone could poison Charles.
Good God, how dreadful. I must inspect this handkerchief at once. Thomas, fetch me my magnifying glass.
Without delay, Inspector. Oh my gosh. Annie, take it.
Thank you, Thomas.
Yes, Inspector.
But, Inspector, there is something you do not know about that handkerchief.
I'll get it.
Oh my gosh.
Good evening. It's for you, Mr. Collymore.
Another telephone call.
Yes, sir.
Who is it, Arthur?
Mr. Fitzroy, sir.
Hand me the phone, Arthur.
At once. Oh. Ah. Come here.
Oh. Give me the glove. Hello? Fitzroy? Ah, yes. This is a much more convenient time. Another transaction traced? No, I had no idea. Fitzroy? Are you there? Fitzroy? Where's you? Ah, there you are. You've given 9,000 pounds of my money to someone else. You have no idea how much pain you're causing me. I shall hang up the phone immediately. Oh, thank you.
Mr. Collymore, you look like you could use a scotch.
No more scotch. Thank you, Perkins. This is horrifying. I must check my bank records at once. If you'll excuse me. Choose a direction. Oh my God. If you'll excuse me. Oh my God.
Inspector, there is something about that handkerchief that you have not detected.
What is it, Perkins?
The handkerchief bears upon it the initials FC.
Florence Collymore is the murderer, Inspector.
Me, the murderer. How can you?
You are the murderer, Florence. It's plain for us all to see. You are engaged to Charles, a man who, according to your letters, you despised. Not only this, but you and Cecil have plausible motives for murder. I think you murdered him so you could be together.
Huh, I think it's going rather well.
Florence Collymore is the murderer, Inspector.
Me, the murderer. How can you?
I checked my bank record. Oh.
You're the murderer, Florence!
She's having another one of her hysterical episodes.
You killed him, Florence. What do you have to say for yourself?
I am no murderer.
Yeah!
Stop. More.
We all know that's not true.
It is true, Inspector.
You've been exposed.
Very well. Your name can easily be cleared. We must check the body once again for cyanide poisoning. Perkins, if you'd show me to the body so I can inspect it once again.
Yes, Inspector.
And Arthur, you stay here with Miss Collymore and be sure she doesn't leave this room.
Arthur, you have known me for years. Surely you believe I would never do something like this.
On the contrary, Miss Collymore, it was I who discovered you to be the guilty party.
Oh, Arthur, how can you? You must protect me from these fiends. I'll do anything to win your trust.
Miss Collymore, you know I cannot resist your feminine charms.
I have seen the way you look at me from across the grounds. Even now, the way you're looking at me. Even now, the way you're looking at me. Even now, the way you're looking at me. I know how you feel.
Please, Miss Collymore, I'm a simple gardener.
And you have said before how And you have said before how... Stop. And you have said before how radiant I... And you have said before how radiant I look as I walk across the grounds. Oh, Arthur, protect me. I'll be yours if you do.
Please, Miss Collymore, I do not feel as if you suggest. You are a murderer and a seductress, and I shall not be seduced.
But Arthur, how can you resist me? I am a beautiful woman.
Stop, Miss Collymore. You are using your power over men as you always have.
You can't pretend that your feelings for me aren't real.
Very well. Perhaps it is true I've admired you once.
Then kiss. Oh. Then kiss me, Arthur. You know you want to. Nah, no one wants to see that.
Do we?
No, I am not going to. He probably has Tootie. I am not.
What on earth is going on?
I can explain.
I don't think you can.
Miss Collymore in Arthur's arms.
A second affair!
Florence, you've changed.
Your wild accusations have driven me to this. I feel dizzy. I feel like I'm about to pass out.
I suggest you settle down, Miss Collymore.
Quickly, where's her medication?
Blast! I must have left it in the study.
You are a vile criminal.
And to think we took you in.
You have manipulated me. I have let my master down tonight.
And all the while you were plotting your fiancé's demise.
Oh, Inspector, all these accusations. I feel an episode coming on.
Have an episode.
No,
Have an episode.
I don't want to.
Have an episode!
Oh my God.
Chris,
No.
Chris, is she all right?
Is that supposed to happen?
Chris,
If you'll excuse me.
Chris.
Check.
You are a seductress and a cold-blooded killer. Yes, you are, Miss Collymore.
Oh, Inspector, I can't take it anymore. I shall faint.
She's fainted.
It's all become too much for her.
Quickly, lie her down on the chase. That's better.
I found Florence's medication. What's happened?
Florence has fainted.
There, Miss Collymore.
Good Lord, I'll wake her up. She's out cold.
But Arthur, is this the same person you saw flotsing about the grounds this evening?
I cannot tell, Inspector. Mr. Collymore, please remove her hands from her face. It's not her, Inspector. Besides, the figure I saw was that of a man.
Of course it was. You were taken in by a handkerchief planted outside the window to frame Florence. But I think the true motive belongs to Perkins.
Me, Inspector.
Yes, you, Perkins. It would appear Charles changed you to the sole beneficiary of his inheritance.
This is all a mistake.
Save your pleading for the police station. Thomas, handcuff him to handcuff him to the house plant, lest he escape before I can drive him there.
That won't be for hours, Inspector. The snow is at its peak.
It's not true, I tell you.
Oh, what happened? I must have fainted. Curse my delicate.
What happened? I must have fainted. Curse my delicate constitution.
You did faint, Florence. We've learned that Perkins committed the murder.
Perkins? But he's such a kindly old man.
This is all a misunderstanding. I didn't kill Charles, but I know who did.
Who?
Inspector Carter.
What on earth?
Poppycock!
You did it. You did it because Charles knew about the police money you were embezzling.
Nonsense!
You'd said that you'd met before, that he was a consultant on one of the fraud cases you were working on.
And what of it?
Charles found the reason why no arrest had been made is because the man committing the crime was yourself. You were the Foucault. The perpetrator. You were the perpetrator.
You can't prove it.
But Charles could, and that's why you killed him.
Never!
I know your secret, Inspector. What will you do? Kill me too?
I will. Confound it!
What a devil of a situation this is!
Not so fast, Inspector.
Charles!
Havisham!
Sir!
Charlie, I thought you were dead!
You're alive? It's not possible.
Oh, I'm afraid it is. You couldn't kill me that easily.
But how did you survive?
I simply didn't drink the poison sherry you left out for me this evening.
Charlie, this is all more than I can bear.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
No, keep going, keep going.
Ever since we last spoke at the police station, it was clear you thought I was onto you. It was at this point I became afraid you might try to kill me. For months now, I've had my guard up, and tonight you fell into my trap.
You've been hiding in the grounds ever since this afternoon when you planted the poison.
You were the mysterious figure I saw.
I thought it was strange you got here so quickly in such dreadful weather.
But what about the handkerchief bearing Florence Collimore's initials?
Perhaps you should ask Inspector Carter, or should I say Inspector Frederick Carter?
FC! The same initials! Stop it!
Precisely. And after committing the crime, you found Charles's will in his ledger and tried to pin the whole thing on me.
You damn
Damn crafty devil.
Crafty indeed. Perkins here is as innocent as I am. Remove those handcuffs this instant.
Of course, Charlie, I have the key.
You have the key.
Chris, where's the key?
I give it to you.
Have it.
I don't want to wear these. Get them off.
Drop the gun, Inspector.
Never! I came here to kill you, and I won't stop till the job's done.
It's over, Inspector. I could prove your guilt in a second. I have the evidence upstairs in the safe in my study. Fetch the papers, Perkins.
Yes, sir.
Lower your weapon, Inspector.
What will you do, Charles? Shoot me in front of a room full of witnesses?
Don't think I wouldn't do it, Carter. You tried to kill me, I'd merely be returning the favor.
Please, Inspector, you're
You ought to be frightened!
Arthur? Hold everyone in this room. I'll send a wire to the local police.
Yes, sir.
You monster! You tried to kill
All right, it's true. I tried to kill Charles, but I couldn't have done it without the help of my accomplice.
Your accomplice?
Thomas Collymore!
It's true. I helped him move the money, but don't you think for a second I'm going down for this. Dang it, Charlie's locked the door. We're all trapped.
Quickly, Collymore, we can escape through the elevator!
Get away from the elevator, you two. Winston, get him, boy! Whoa!
Down, Winston!
Now to get those papers.
Quickly, we can escape through the library!
The papers, sir.
Thank you, Perkins. Now fetch my reading glasses from the library.
Yes, sir.
It's useless. There's no way out.
Sorry, go.
I feel so ashamed. I found that between the two of us, Carter and I could steal money from the police's sundry accounts easily. Carter had access, and I had the facility to move it fast. And I... Line.
This sets a dang death trap!
This sets a dang...
As for Cecil!
As for Cecil, it was more crime of passion, simple as that.
Now I hold in my hands a handwritten list of every fraudulent transaction Thomas Collymore and Inspector Carter made.
Stop it. Ah! My gosh.
Florence, your sordid affair made me sick. It broke my heart.
Stop it!
Stop it!
Let go!
Give me your suit!
Let go!
Oh!
Let go! Stop it! Oh!
Your reading glasses, sir.
Thank you, Perkins! That get the door, Perkins!
Yes, sir.
Stop!
That'll be the police to arrest you both. Silence, Florence. You mean nothing to me now.
I think this is the worst night of all of our lives.
But Thomas, Inspector Carter had you fooled, didn't he?
What do you mean?
He never intended to share the money with you. Let me summarize. Inspector Carter knew I discovered you and he were both embezzling police money, so you hatched a plan to kill me, planting cyanide in my sherry for me to drink. Then, mistakenly believing I was dead, Inspector Carter tried to pin my murder on my brothers Cecil and Florence because of their affair. That is, until your accomplice Thomas blundered in and shot my brother Cecil. At this point, Inspector Carter tried to pin my murder on Perkins after finding my will in the ledger.
Take me, Charlie, if you know what's good for you.
Except what you didn't know, Thomas, was that Inspector Carter made a 9,000-pound withdrawal from your private accounts this morning, and after framing someone for the murder, he intended to flee with the full 9,000 pounds on a one-way ticket to Dover. I think it's time we take a look inside your attaché case, Inspector, where I think we shall find the bottle of cyanide, as well as Thomas Collymore's 9,000 pounds.
And of course, a one-way ticket to Duran. Tracy?
He allowed you to take all the risk by storing the money in your private accounts. Isn't that right, Inspector?
All right, it's true. I forged your signature at the bank, and I took out every penny. I had intended to flee after I managed to pin your murder on someone, but I hadn't bargained on your account catching on so quickly and telephoning you so soon.
Carter, you rogue! I trusted you. You've made a mistake, and I'm afraid it will be your last.
No! What? Bang!
The officers are waiting in the hall, sir.
What?
What's that?
No!
No!
Excellent, Perkins. Now, if you could please take Miss Collymore downstairs. I would like to have a word with Thomas in private.
Yes, sir.
You're dead. You're dead. Get down, Chris. Downstairs, Florence, downstairs. Thomas, you're not the man I once knew at Eton. You've become greedy and jealous.
I'm sorry, Charles. My nerves are in shreds.
There's a glass of sherry by the telephone.
Ever the kind host, Charles.
Drink it up.
Most kind.
Tell me, Thomas, one last thing.
Anything. I'll tell no more lies.
The glass of sherry the inspector left out for me this evening. What do you suppose I did with it?
Well, I don't know. What do you mean? Charlie, no, Lion.
Just die already!
Just, how dare you?
Oh, how I wish this could have ended differently. Thomas, your lies and deceit have led you inexorably to this end. If men allow their conscience to be governed by avarice, then death and destruction shall prevail. Betrayed by my brother at...
Oh, come on!
Cuckolded by my fiancé and betrayed by my oldest friend. Let us hope we shall never again see a murder at Haversham Manor.